Welcome, friendos, to Dergy be playing Mass Effect. I'll probably actually name this series Dergy be Roleplay Mass Effect, because I'm going to be going through the game as a specific Shepherd and basically trying to get my canon trilogy playthrough out of the way. What I feel like my ideal Shepherd would do. I don't think I've ever really done this by myself even, not really, not 100%. Certainly not in 3. Part of 3 is going to be blind, but that's way in the future. Regardless, yeah, I'm just gonna be going through as, by the way, female shepherd. Her name's Ada. I will be kind of playing a mix of Paragon and Renegade, more choosing based on my character's personality. And, you know, people are varied, people are gray area, they're, you know, black and white is not how I usually play these kinds of games, as long as I can get away with it. And this one, it's serious, you can. It encourages you not to, but you can. And so I do. Same with who I'm going to be choosing, who I'm going to be leveling up. I'm probably going to be playing on normal difficulty, no higher than that on anything. I don't want this to be, you know, a run full of me dying a bunch of times. I don't think that'd be exciting for a lot of you. I mostly want to go through this and just kind of appreciate the game, gush about it, talk about what my character's doing and why in any given situation, just kind of be immersed in the game and talk about whatever comes to mind and hope that y'all enjoy it. So, without further ado, friendos.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database.
Why, thank you.
Classified
Glad to be here.
Requested.
Alrighty. So, one thing I really enjoy is just, you know, the first start screen of Mass Effect. In canon, to me, in my head, this is like Shepherd's login screen when she, in my case, they, like, have to hop on, like, when they actually get assigned to the Normandy, they have to go through this particular process. That's what I'm envisioning in my mind. So let's get started and
Establishing secure connection.
see, like, it should just work flawlessly, right? Like, hopefully, right? Totally. Like, you know, these systems aren't flawed at all, right? Like, you know, there's not going to be any kind of data corruption or anything. Like, totally, yeah, definitely
Please
not.
log in to access your profile.
Like I said, her name is Ada Shepherd. And I'll be explaining about her character and everything as we go along. You know, using examples of the gameplay to kind of... and the choices she makes and what she thinks about X, Y, and Z thing and how she'll normally behave and what she'll do at a given time. You know, a lot of it's going to be characterization of my own Shepherd this playthrough. And if you are interested in that, I think you'll enjoy the ride.
Confirm pre-service history.
Alright, so... she was a spacer.
Confirm psychological profile.
She, you know, pretty standard Alliance military story. She hopped around spaceships with her parents, kind of like how, you know, in real life, modern day, you know, there's military kids that had to stay on bases most of their life. This is basically the space version of that, you know, and she got to really learn a lot about, you know, space and the aliens there, and definitely feels a little bit out of place among other human Alliance people. She kind of feels like she kind of gets the way that things should be done, and that's a bit more working with the other races than the other humans, and the other races themselves seem to want to do with humans. It's this whole back and forth thing that she doesn't approve of. She wants to kind of, like, she's always just accepted aliens and been intrigued about them, actually, and wanted to meet more of them. And I suppose, you know, being a spacer all your life might, you know, help to do that. I'm sure she met a lot of aliens along the way in some capacity. I mean, yeah, she mostly spent time on human Alliance vessels, but they had to do some sort of liaisoning with the Council, right? I mean, the Council and the Human Alliance do kind of work together, don't they? At the very least, maybe she just has always been curious about alien species, even if perhaps it might not be too realistic for her to have met many. But I feel like, considering how diverse the galaxy is and humans and aliens just kind of live amongst each other, um, in a lot of places in the galaxy. Like, not just on the Citadel, but probably more there than elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, humans and aliens, mix and conglomerate all over the galaxy. I'm sure she's met plenty of aliens, and I'm sure she got to the point where she really is intrigued by them. And there's one race in particular she is intrigued by the most, and I'll actually kind of leave that for a suspense for now. But she was also a soul survivor. She has an extremely empathetic and safety-minded, self-sacrificial almost kind of a mindset due to this. She really wants to try her best to make sure that innocents do not die as much as humanly possible. She has an extreme, bent against people doing self-sacrificial things, against people who are just kind of carelessly throwing other people's lives away. Those kinds of people she'll happily literally kill, just, many for the, or few for the many type of a situation. That kind of a thing. And like I said, going back to the spacer thing, this always extends to aliens, and she also just really wants to explore space more, and she's really glad to have the Normandy assignment. Those are some two basic parts about her character. I feel like I could have eloquently explained them a bit more, but I am a little nervous considering I really want to do this game justice. And I haven't done much YouTubing yet, but I intend to fix that. But regardless, friendos, let us continue.
Confirm military specialization.
She is a soldier
Confirm
through and
facial
through.
identification.
Weapons and armor training are actually two of her favorite goals and pastimes in life. She really dedicates herself especially to the assault rifle and to armor training. She wants to be a heavy armor assault, so it just charges in, assault rifle, shotgun, gets the job done, leaves as many of her soldiers out of the line of fire as possible. That's what she basically did during the Soul Survivor campaign, and somehow she pulled through that. No one else did, but she wants to stick to her guns there. Because, I mean, I think Akuz is the name of the planet that the Soul Survivor thing occurs. I didn't read them because I know so much about the whole thing. In fact, well, maybe for newer people I should have maybe explained about the different background stuff, but I kind of feel like this series should be for people who've played the game themselves already anyway, like all three of them. And are about as well versed as I am in them. I've played through the first two a good few times, and the third one I've dabbled in, and I want to actually finish it this time. I'm probably actually going to mod ME3 though, but I'll get around to that whenever I actually get there. But regardless, I've been debating. I kind of want to change her appearance, but I've always liked her default appearance well enough. I think I'm just gonna leave her with her default appearance in all three games, just because I don't know. It's my Shepherd's never been about looks. She's been about what and how she does and functions,
Profile
for what reasons. To confirm your character is complete, you'll be unable to change any settings. Well, it's good because.
Identification confirmed.
Alright, so instead of casual, I'm actually gonna bump it up to normal. Keep it there. I was only really playing casual because I usually want to just go through the story with these games, but I want to at least add a little bit of challenge to me this time. I've played the game through on normal. I played the game through, I think, also on veteran. So, well, part of me feels like I should bump it back down to casual, but we'll see how much I die in normal, because I'm not great at this game. Let's be honest. But I think, honestly, my issue with dying is I used to blitz through way too much because I just wanted to get through the story. But I think this playthrough, I shouldn't do that. This playthrough will also kind of stick with it better if I keep it on normal, I have a feeling. But I'm going to go ahead and keep the squad auto-leveling up themselves. Really just focus on leveling Shephard up herself. Target assist high for now. Squad power usage active. I usually don't tend to use powers maybe as much as I should. So I will keep that there. Subtitles, yes, honestly, yes. I might actually change some of those, try to get more into squad power usage, but I really just basically want to treat this as a shooter. 2 and 3, I don't as much. This game, I more treat like a shooter. I'm not too fond of the combat system, to be entirely frank. When I really need to, I use everything at my disposal.
Military service runs in the family. Both her parents were in the Navy.
She saw her whole unit die on a cruise. She could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shephard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies, enabling travel to the furthest stars. The basis for this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. They call it the greatest discovery in human history. The civilizations of the galaxy call it, yeah, I read that in Time, also known as Mass Effect. I was actually really surprised I was able to do that. Feels good, man. This intro is really, really, really good.
Arcturus Prime relays in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
I love this song. The music in this whole series is great to me. I honestly especially like the dark ambient stuff in E01, actually. I know a lot of people are not as thrilled about this game's music, but I do love it quite a bit myself. Man, that is a cool freaking shot. Especially for 2008, I want to say. This game is graphically impressive. This game really is aging well and will continue to do so, I'd say. I mean, of course, a remaster would be cool, but I don't need one. I don't even need one for Dragon Age Origins, or even games as old as Resident Evil 4. Like, honestly, the PS2, PS3 era, you know, slash Xbox 360 era, you know, that whole, like, I don't know, mid-2000s era, mid to late, like, 2000s era, that was just, that's still a really good graphical era to me. Some games maybe, but, like, most of them, like, they look great to me. God, they look great to me. Like, this is more than enough graphical fidelity for me, this game. And games from around that vicinity of years, graphically. At least, you know, the big ones like these with the 3D graphics.
I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. Only an idiot believes the official story.
Right away, setting up the whole, the main dilemma about this. Basically, there's a Turian on board. He's a Turian Spectre. And, right away, both Turians and Spectres are clearly not too trusted by certain personnel, like Joker here. By the way, I love Joker as a character. His snark could, like, I don't know. I'm trying to find a good way, like, a good sort of poetic way to say how snarky this dude is, but let me just say he is a snarkinator, and I love him for it. But what's funny is Ada doesn't.
That's enough. Your soldiers act like it.
Sorry.
She's a bit more hard-assy than your Dergy would normally be.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network.
Well,
I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance brass before we begin.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here. Tell Commander Shephard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
no reason to continue instigating either of them, as far as she's concerned. She's just gonna head there.
I'm on my way.
Is it me or does the Captain always sound a little pissed off?
Only when he's talking to you, Joe.
Alright. This music and this cockpit and the inside of this ship, man. Nostalgia. This is one of the first games I got hooked on for a good few playthroughs in a goddamn row.
You probably don't want to keep the captain waiting, Commander.
I know, but I'm gonna talk to everyone anyway because I am an RPG player. That's how we do it, man.
The captain's waiting for you in the comm room.
I know, Joker. I just told you why I'm talking to everyone. Right, so.
We're getting dragged right along with them.
And here is not cool with aliens number 2 here. Okay, I shouldn't say not cool with aliens. Not cool with specters on board a human vessel. Let's clarify that. But this guy right here isn't actually too fond of aliens at all. At all. In fact, he lets on a little bit less than he actually feels regarding aliens. We learn later in a certain little thing in Mass Effect 2 about how much Presley actually really disliked aliens at first, but he got over that. But regardless, hello Presley. I do like this character in the end. He's a respectful person, and despite his prejudices, he just does the job and doesn't interfere and just, you know, goes along with everything.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
I heard you arguing.
Sounds like you don't trust Arturian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down in engineering. Didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
What do you mean?
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
She's actually starting to wonder about this herself now that he mentions it, so she'll look into it.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
Just making sure I can't go like there or anything. Doesn't look like I can. I don't think. Let me see. I don't think I can do anything with this yet. No. I thought that was a. Hold on. I know that there's little codex entry things to pick up. I think there's one as early as in here somewhere. I don't know if I already passed it or not. I just want to make sure I get it if it's in here. If I didn't get it before, but maybe it isn't here yet. But I know I think it's one of these terminals. I know that there's one of these will give you a codex thing, and I don't know if I already got it or it's a thing I get later or what have you. Anywho,
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
Yeah, she's definitely not pleased with how gung-ho he's being. And she's really not going to be pleased with it in a little bit later. Yeah, I think most of you even probably know what I'm talking about. Yep. Rip, 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 rip. Death flags everywhere. Yep.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool even under fire.
Except he doesn't.
Sorry, Commander, but this
Well, I mean,
is
actually,
I've never been on a mission
that's
like this
debatable.
before, not one with the Spectre on board.
She's really trying to caution him into calming down, except it won't do any good in the end. I don't think it's even spoilery to most of you, so I'm just gonna kind of make it very clear. I mean, I already did, so never mind.
Just treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself on a cruise. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm not gonna screw this up.
Funnily enough, I think in the end, she's the one who accidentally screws something up, which is really gonna not affect her well. but she'll deal with it by making sure as many other people don't die under her command as humanly possible. That's all she can do, and she'll always hold herself to it as much as possible, and try to be comforted in knowing that she did her best. So, yep. Anything else you'd like to investigate here? Let's see. I don't know why it's taking me forever to, like, decide if I want to do any of these. Well, I'm trying to think from her perspective. Might be thinking a little too much about it. She definitely would like... I think she'd probably like these two's opinions on everything, actually.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power there. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
By the way, I love Dr. Chakwa's accent. I've always loved those kind of thick British accents. I love them. Especially on women. Let's see.
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Because you're not in there yet. I
Spectres
mean, wait,
usually come from
spoilers,
the
whoops.
council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're always getting dropped into impossible situations, forced to survive unbeatable odds, just like you on a cruise.
What would she say to that here? She doesn't like that. Especially treating so much death with... By basically glossing it over. And she really wants to try and simmer him down a bit.
I try not to think about it, Cruz.
Sorry, Commander. I didn't mean to offend you. I respect what you did there. We all do.
Let's not dwell on the past, Commander. Was there something else you needed?
Honestly, Spectres do sound dangerous to her, because someone with that much power could just go around killing. And spoiler, one of them does that. We meet him later, and then we kill him. It's great. I love it. We kill him twice, actually. Super spoilers, but probably not for most of you, so that's why I'm just kind of letting it all air out here. This is a roleplay and not, you know, a regular playthrough anyway. Which is another reason I feel like I'm kind of permitted. I guess I'm deciding, because this is my own series, that I am permitted to spoil the absolute butt sex out of this game, because, well, I mean, I like to really use what I know about the rest of the game in order to continue, in order to really weave into my commentaries and such. Just make them more coherent and fleshed out and that sort of a thing.
How do you control agents with unlimited power?
I suppose the Council could revoke the Spectre status of an agent who got out of hand. At that point, Citadel Security Services would take over.
Those C-Sec grunts wouldn't stand a chance. The Spectres were 20 ordinary soldiers. The Spectres police themselves. If an agent goes rogue, they send another agent to take him down. That's Spectre justice.
The Corporal's confusing romantic legends with reality, Commander.
It reminds me of a lot of just fans of fiction that I know, and hell, me sometimes. I really do love Jenkins, and it's kind of sucks. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I would just love to have had him around, just as a character, if he doesn't die in this next mission. Mega spoilers, whoops. So, anyway, in Pride.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the field back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. You can paradise gets boring after a while.
Why are we going
Any
there?
idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there.
Oh,
There's gotta be something else going
this
on.
time.
We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
But he's right, there's something else going on, and, well, he's gonna get his real action, whether he thinks he's gonna on Eden Prime or not, he is. Oh, boy.
What do you know about the
Oh, whoops! I already did that.
Spectres don't have
Protect it
any-
at any cost. Don't
Alright.
forget that part.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Yeah, you got Paragon and experience. Feels good, man. Can I actually go down here and poke around a little bit? No. Not yet. Not quite yet. Thank you for the salute, sir. Respectful soldier boy. Very beautiful. Oh, I didn't mean to draw him again. Hello.
Commander Shephard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
Talk about what exactly?
What about?
I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
Yep, she's heard that
They
too.
say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
She'd like him to cut to the chase, because she's starting to really understand that he's trying to make a point here.
If you've got something to say, just say it.
Your people are still newcomers, Shepherd. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
Okay.
So I can shut this beacon off.
Alrighty.
Let's see what's wrong. Got my loose with this base. Actually, it's worse than that. Shit.
Yeah, she figured
I
that.
figured there was something you weren't telling us.
We're making a covert pickup of Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir.
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It's Prothean.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shephard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Well, she's glad he's here to help, considering this is such an important thing, and he's a Spectre. So he definitely knows what he's doing here.
It never hurts to have a few extra hands on board.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepherd.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate.
She had a feeling about that. Actually, did she? I don't think so, to be honest. That's just normally the one I pick. I think she'd be interested in why.
What's going on, Captain?
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
Not many could have survived what you went through on Akuz. You showed a remarkable will to live, a particularly useful talent. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepherd. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
Give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Oh my.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need.
Oofle. Big Dergy oofle. Hugs for everyone. Hang in there, friendos.
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
Oh,
A small
yes it
strike
did.
team can move quickly without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Yeah, that was a bad choice, Nihilus.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
You can count on us.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shephard. Good luck.
We are approaching drop point 2.
Also known as the first place in this game that blew my mind of many. Namely, that fucking sunset, man. Look at that shit. God. This is what 2008 graphics can do, man. Really, really impressive. For me, for sure. Man, I could look at this game all day. And don't even get me started on ME2 and 3. They're both very pretty, even more so. Anywho, let's keep going, friendos. Let's see. She'll start out with her assault rifle. I said assault rifle. She'll probably mostly be doing assault rifle and shotgun if things get real close quarters.
Gas bags. Don't worry, they're harmless.
Huh, she's curious about them. She'll kind of just sit here and expect them for a little, just because aliens have always intrigued her. I never really noticed they had those little kind of insectile, three-eyed faces there. This is some really... This is part of what I love about these sci-fi settings, is the sheer creativity that goes into creating the alien life and all of that. I love games and the creativity there, and I always have. Video games have always been a second home for me. Hell, my first goddamn home. No matter what other home I'm at, I always will have an extreme passion for gaming. Even though sometimes it's hard for me to play games because of my brain, my anxiety, and other things, but whenever I can come back to them, man, it's the best thing. This games just make me real damn happy, you know? Except for when things like this happen. Oh, rip. Rip that boy. Rip him very much so. Alright, combat time. And she's leveled, which means tutorial time. Alright, so, first things first. I'm gonna probably mostly do Paragon. But I'm probably gonna end up choosing some Renegade options. I have 6 points though, and to be frank, because I'm playing on normal, I want to make sure I'm Gucci here. I want to focus on defensive first, to the degree that I can, so that's those two. And I want to kind of wait until I can go all the way here, equip heavy armor. That's going to be one of my main first things I'm going to do. Then I'm going to drop 2 in here, actually, in assault rifles. I also need to start... Well, you know, honestly, I say I might do assault rifles and shotguns, but to be entirely frank, I really love assault rifles in these games. I essentially don't tend to stray much from them. So, I really feel like I'm gonna end up not really using shotguns. I'm just gonna use point-blank assault rifles. That works well enough in these games, you know? I don't know. I always love assault rifles. I'm probably just gonna max assault rifles out. So, yeah, F the shotguns. I'm just gonna go for the assault rifles the more I think about it. I always do that. I always, in the end, I'm like, I'm gonna do something besides assault rifles the whole game. No, I'm not. I don't. I love assault rifles too much. So, here's what I'll do. What does Soldier do? Increases health. I wanted to get combat armor going. I'll start increasing health later, but I just want to make sure I also have some dialogue options going up. I'll start putting more into both later, but for now I want to at least make sure I have that bottom rung for both. That's what I'll do for now. Rip Jenkins. He totally did not make himself very, very, very clearly death flagged way before the end. Rest in peace, my friend Huggles. In the afterlife. Indeed.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete. But I need you to stay focused.
Aye, ma'am.
And internally, even as she says that, she's like, God, I fucked up. God damn it. Why did another soldier have to die? But, you know, she's not externalizing that for Caden's sake. To make sure he stays focused. Speaking of Caden, she sees he's injured here and makes sure she's patched up a bit. Thankfully, the technology here is very useful for ensuring that you're more patched up than you would be in a real-life war setting. Thankfully, in these kinds of situations. I think there's some loot around here, except I'm not going to be too worried about looting anyway for the entire game. But I think this might actually... I think there is some loot back farther, but I'm not too worried about it. They're only playing on normal anyway. Ouchie. Let's help her out. She's not going to let this soldier die if she can help it. Because her squad clearly did. Look at him. At least that's what she's assuming is her squad over there. Always puts weapons away before talking to people. I mean, I'm probably going to end up not doing very much. I know that you put your weapons away automatically anyway. It's just a roleplay thing I like to do. Also, I just like putting away weapons and taking them out. It's a fun little tactile thing for me. Anyway. She's definitely going to ask how she's holding up first.
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns, nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit.
Whew.
We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Well, it's pretty clear what happened to her unit, so I'm gonna go with this one.
Any idea what kind of enemy we're facing?
I think they're Geth.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
That's a good question. Very good.
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
Then it looks like it's the best option to Ada in order to take Ashley along.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
Let's go. Let's go, Mario. Banshee 3, very nice. It's interesting how for the tutorial they give you a like 3 rank weapon when I don't know if it's always an assault rifle or if it's based on whatever weapon you've been using the most, maybe, but it might always be an assault rifle. All I know is it's always one for me because I always from my very first playthrough I tended towards assault rifle first. I always love assault rifles and machine guns. I've always loved them. And then whenever SMGs are a thing in like 2 and 3 and any game really, I also tend towards those. Fiester the Fire and the Bedar, wow, amazing. Exit rounds, radioactive rounds, some upgrades to put on my stuff, and a scorpion armor. Alright, so we don't have any of those kinds, but we do have... okay, so radioactive, cooldown reduction, phasic rounds, shield damage, but minus 30 regular damage. Yeah, that's not... I don't think that's really worth it. Generally. I'll go ahead and do that because it doesn't give you a penalty, and it also reduces... it also increases their cooldowns for abilities, which is handy. I think those shields they can put up are abilities. I'm not sure what other abilities the Geth have. And I'm also guessing on the shield thing, but I have a feeling that's an ability. But I'm sure it'll help delay some possibly deadly actions. Okay, I was like, where are they? I didn't see them yet, but... hello? Oh yeah, that's right, you have to have your gun out first. Alright. Hello? There we go. But yeah, she always wants to efficiently take them out before they can do much damage, if at all possible.
Clear.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
Let's get going then.
We make for the camp.
It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
She doesn't think it's worth the time asking if there's any survivors. If she sees any, she will do what she can for them, of course. Oh yeah, I don't think I ever actually put on the new armor that we got, or if it's saw if it was any good, I should say. Less damage, more shields though, and tech biotic protection, which is actually tempting. Yeah, you know what? I'll see what the Scorpion's got going there when I use it. Gives me more shields, also gives me more tech protection, which, well, we're fighting against Geth. pretty sure that's going to help.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
Indeed.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
Oh boy. And this is not horrifying at all. Yay.
Oh,
By the way,
they're still alive.
What did the Geth do to them?
Yeah, the husks are real interesting. Their codex entries are fascinating and horrifying. The codex entry on them. There we go. Once again, she wants to make sure Caden's Gucci there. He was pretty low. Well, he was around halfway, but she always does her best to kind of make sure everyone's in okay health. Best she can. Alright, let me really quickly kick the cat out of my room that seems to feel like they need to continue to knock all of my shiznit over. She needs to learn that that's not a thing that she can do.